Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Crystal Flaffy, and today we're going to be talking about Bulbie, who is the current Rebirth Mon, just starting for December. It is December 1st today, so yeah, got the change going, all that. I was planning to do a different Mon. I had two others in mind that I had prepared, but then I forgot that the month was about to change, so had to figure out what to do with Bulbie real quick to do that one first. But before we get started, and as I scroll to find Fire Bulbie, I did want to give a quick thank you to all the new subscribers and people that leave comments and likes and feedback and all of that. Ever since I started uploading MSL videos back in September, my channel has grown quite a bit. It's grown a lot, actually. Shit, in the last month, I've gained 60 something subscribers, so that's pretty dope. I really like that. Thank you all. I appreciate it. But anyway, let's get into Bulbie real quick. So here's the Evo 1. It's a cute little fruit thing. Evo 2 is like a sheep. And then here's the Evo 3. It's a little sheep girl. Because, they gotta have the anime lolly. It's a given. It's mandatory. But design-wise, it's a very cool concept. It's based on, the name Barrowmits. I'm pretty sure it's a thing in a myth of where, a fruit turns into a tree. Turns into a goat or something like that. So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Pretty cool concept. But anyway, here's the variant. And between the two, I don't know. I like the regular one, I guess. Yeah. But anyway, Fire Bulbie is a tank. And looking at the stats, they're pretty low, actually. Especially the defense and attack. I wish those were a little higher. And then HP is kind of low for a Nat 3 tank, I think. To compare to another... Oh, no, that's a defender. Is there any tanks over here? Right here, okay. Oh, never mind. I guess it's about the same. Well, it's actually better than the alpaca, at least. So yeah, that's it for its stats. And let's go on to its skills. We got Stun, 70% one turn. Skill books bring it up to 80% and give it 15% damage boost. And then we have Thirst on the 5-star, 60% 2 turns for 30% lowering of the skill gauge. And skill books bring that up to 80% and give a 10% damage boost there. And the leader skill is a 15 to 20% resist increase in dungeons, which I'll speak about in a moment. Because I forgot to mention that for those that don't know, those that weren't around during that time, when Barrowmit's Bulbie was released, she was released alongside the Colossus rework, so all of the Bulbies are associated with one of the Colossi in terms of their skills, except Dark. Dark isn't really associated with Colossus, but because each Colossus has their gimmick, and then each Bulbie has the skills to counter that gimmick. So for Fire, it was made for Wood Colossus, and the thing with Wood Colossus is you don't want to prevent. You want to prevent the Golem that does the attack up heal from getting its attack up. So the thought process behind this Bulbie was that they would stun that Colossus. The thing is, though, the stun chance is too low, and it can be resisted, so it's not very consistent for Wood Colossus. That's why SP Siphon is so much better for that specific place. But anyway, you can still use Fire Bulbie there. Just know that it is inconsistent because the Colossus, the Golem will, or the Sentinel thing, whatever it's called, it will have resist, so your chance of stunning isn't 100%, so you can mess up there. I do recommend SP Siphon over stun in that particular place. But a place that Fire Bulbie can actually do pretty well in, that I didn't think about until writing my notes for this video, is PvP defense. For early game, maybe mid-game, but more so early game. She can do pretty well because her stun does go up to 80%, which is decent. And then Thirst, on AoE is pretty good. Thirst on 3 stars bad, but like AoE it's pretty good. And it lowers by 30%, which is a lot. It's the highest amount that Thirst goes up to, I believe. So yeah, that's pretty good, pretty good. I do recommend, if you want to use a Bulbie, Fire Bulbie, I do recommend using her for PvP over Colossus, just because you'd get more out of her. And how I would gem her, you can go HP defense, but I would probably go HP defense, just because her defense is pretty damn low, and her HP is decent enough already, so it doesn't need as much investment. But yeah, that's it for the Fire Bulbie, and now on to Water. Here we are. A nice blue. And there's the other one. You know, I don't really like the variant. The skin is off-putting. It's like a blue-gray. It's weird. I don't know. Whatever. I like the regular one more. Anyway, looking at the stats, it's an attacker. Its HP and defense are whatever. The HP is kind of low. I wouldn't say bad, but it's kind of low. The defense is okay. But the attack stat for Water Bulbie is actually really high for a Nat 3. We'll get to Dark Bulbie soon, but their attack stat is pretty much the same. They're both 3,300. I don't remember the last two numbers, but they're both 3,200, which is insane because one's a Nat 3 and one's a Nat 4. But anyway, let's look at the skills real quick. Here we go. So we got Shield Breaker on the 3-star. Does get a 30% damage boost, and then Unflinching Strike on the 5-star. That gives a 25% damage boost from book. Sorry. So Water Bulbie was made to counter the Fire Colossus, because the Fire Colossus healer puts up a shield. The shield is, I'm pretty sure the shield is infinite in terms of damage percent. So like infinite HP or whatever. So you do need a shield breaker if you can't just nuke it. And Water Bulbie is the perfect mon for that, because it would have the shield break on 3-star, and then it would be doing decent damage with its Unflinching Strike. So yeah, it is really good for Fire Colossus if you don't have the good strong water mons to just nuke it in a couple turns before it gets to heal. Also, it is really good for Titans against the Fire Titan, of course, with the Unflinching Strike and that really high attack stat. You can do quite a bit of work there. Yeah, one of the best Nat 3, one of the best Unflinching Strike water mons. The only one that's better, I would say, is Water Sandwraith. Well, actually, I'm getting not ahead of myself. I'm getting confused. I'm forgetting all about Water Sphinx, who's also a decent one and probably better than Water Sandwraith. So yeah, Water Bulbie is really good. Just if you don't have any good Water Courageous Strikers or Unflinching Strikers, I definitely recommend building Water Bulbie. She'll do very good for you. How I would gem her: fully offensive, pretty much. Crit rate attack. Crit rate attack HP or crit rate attack crit damage. You could even go triple attack or attack HP if you don't have a square slot. Crit rate isn't necessary for her. She's not crit required, so it doesn't really matter too much. Perhaps triple attack would be best for her. I don't have one built on my main account. I do have one built on my alt, and I believe I have it on crit rate attack. I don't remember though. I'd have to double check. But either way, she does pretty good there. And then let's move on to the Wood Bulbie real quick. There we go. And so let's look at I like the regular one. Regular one's kind of cute. The variant is okay. I don't know. It's weird. It's kind of off-putting to me. I feel like it's too much brown, you know? I don't know. That's just me. I like the regular one. Anyway, Wood Bulbie is a balance type with pretty good HP for a Nat 3 balance type. Actually, really good HP for a Nat 3 balance type. Defense is okay as well. and attack is a bit underwhelming, but is not bad either. Looking at the skills, we got Sap on the 3-star. It is 60% one type, 2 turns. Skill books bring that up to 90% and give a 10% damage boost. And then we have Buff Breaker on 5-star, 100% chance, and skill books give that a 30% damage boost. So Wood Bulbie was made for Water Colossus, which Water Colossus you do need Sap. Well, Sap is one of the better methods. It's either Sap or Fire Draka, and both can be difficult, but I don't know. My Water Colossus team isn't super great, so yeah, I don't know which of the two between Draka and Sap is better, but Sap is still a viable one. But unfortunately for Bulbie, her Sap on her 3-star is pretty bad just because it is one type. Don't get me wrong, 90% 2 turns is amazing, but because it only puts 1 layer of Sap per turn, stacking it is going to be a bit inconsistent compared to something with 3 types, or 2 types even, would be much better. If she had 2 types of Sap on her 3-star, that would make her so much better, and I would definitely recommend using her if that was the case, but she doesn't. As for Buff Breaker, I get where they were going when they put it there. It's decent in theory. The reason they would put it there is because the Sentinel the healer for Water Colossus gives defense up, and it is an insane multiplier on that defense up. And that Water Colossus already has absurdly high defense stat. Like, you'll be hitting 20 damage on it, rather than like 2k or something like that, where you'd hit on other things. But yeah, I get why they did it. They would want to remove the defense down, but in theory it sounds like it works, but in practice it doesn't. It is useless. Buff Breaker is probably the most useless skill in the game. I don't know any point in time where this thing is useful. So yeah, with Bulbie you would only be Bulbie you would only be using her for her 3-star. But if you don't have a good Water Colossus team, she is decent to use there. I definitely recommend trying her out at least if you don't have a good team for that dungeon just yet. But just make sure you're doing it on manual and you're always using the 3-star and never use the 5-star, because there's no point. How I would gem her: HP, defense, defense. Putting investment into attack, just if you're just gonna be using her for Water Colossus, is pretty useless because you're gonna be doing no damage either way. And then defense over HP, just because the Sap doesn't care about how high your HP is, because it is like the Sap that the Water Colossus does to you doesn't care about how high your HP is. It's just gonna do a set 7% every turn. So yeah, your HP doesn't matter. You just want to get your defense up high so that when the Colossus's hits don't hurt you too much, regardless of the Sap. Because there's nothing you can really do to lower the Sap damage that you get. But that's going to be it for the Wood Bulbie. Yeah, Wood Bulbie. There isn't anywhere else you'd want to use her, but like I normally recommend Sappers for GB10, but her Sap just isn't reliable enough, and her 5-star is useless there, so I don't recommend her. Anyway, now we got Light Bulbie here. Here's the variant. I like the variant. Okay, I like the variant. I like the pink. It's so cute. Then looking at the stats, she is a defender. She has pretty good defense and HP for a defender. Actually, her HP is really good for a defender. But her defense is pretty good as well. Her attack is whatever. It doesn't really matter too much because she's not meant to be doing damage. We go to her skills, and she is recovery down on both skills. 80% 2 turns on 3-star. Skill books bring that. Actually, no. Skill books leave it at 20%. She doesn't get any boost to the chance. She just gets a 30% damage boost from on both skills from skill books. And recovery down is pretty useless. But unlike Buff Breaker, it does have one use in the game, and that is Light Colossus. Now, there are 2 methods of taking on Light Colossus. The first is recovery down, and that's what what Light Bulbie was made for. The other is dark nuking, just nuking the Colossus with dark mons, which, in my opinion, is the more reliable method. It's the method I use. I haven't tried the recovery down method, so I don't know how viable it is, though it is definitely useful. I 100% suggest dark nukers over recovery down method. Also, something that I should point out, that the fact that our 3-star is only 80% is kind of, like 80% normally is high, but since the sole purpose of this mon is to land the recovery down on the Light Colossus, because it's not 100%, it's not reliable enough, in my opinion. But yeah, that's pretty much it for Light Bulbie. There isn't really much to say about her other than use her for Light Colossus. If you use her, personally, I would just get her to Evo 3 for the gems and then use her as rebirth fodder. That's what I did with mine. 4-star rebirth fodder, not 3-star rebirth. But yeah, you can try her out for the Light Colossus if you want. I don't really have much suggestions to give there for the rest of the team, as I haven't tried that method, as I have already mentioned. But yeah, try it out if you want, but if not, it's not necessary at all. But anyway, we will get on to Dark Bulbie now. We'll look at the design. Here's the regular. Here's the variant. I like the variant more because I like the purples. You know, I like the purple from the variant more than I like the colors for the regular. Looking at the stats, as you can see, 3,300 attack, just like Water Bulbie, though I think Water Bulbie was like 3,354 or something like that, if I remember right. And so Dark Bulbie just has like 24 points higher or whatever for attack, which is insane because she's a Nat 4 rather than a Nat 3, which isn't saying anything bad about Dark Bulbie. That's saying something good about water. Defense is pretty good, or okay, I guess, and then HP is okay, I guess, as well. Her stats aren't super amazing, but they're not bad either. Looking at her skills, she has exposed weakness on both skills. On her 3-star, it's 70% 2 turns. Skill books bring that up to 80% and give a 15% damage boost for 3-star. And then 100% 1 turn on 5-star. Skill books bring that up to 2 turns and give a 20% damage boost. It'd be nice if the exposed weakness on 3-star went up to 100% with books. It'd be nice. It'd be really nice. But anyway, as to where you would use her... Oh, I didn't mention how to build Light Bulbie if you use her. I would go HP defense. Well, yeah, that's it. I wouldn't recommend another build for that. But anyway, as for where you can use Dark Bulbie, you can actually use her in a lot of places, a lot more than any of the other Bulbies. Light Colossus is one. I do use mine in Light Colossus, just to speed along the process of nuking it with my Dark Mons. I'll have my Dark Thor put a defense down on, and then I'll have Dark Bulbie put down the expose, and then I'll hit the Colossus with either my Dark Lucy or my Dark Mowgli, and they would do massive damage because of the defense down and exposed weakness. You can also use it in... you can probably use it in Dark Colossus. I haven't tried like a nuking method for Dark Colossus. I know it's possible, and Dark Bulbie is a good mon to try there, but I haven't tested it myself, so I don't know how well she'd work. But it is a good... It's something you can try out. It's most likely viable. And then also you can use it for Titans. Just be aware that you do have to set up your lineup well so that the timing of the animations gets Bulbie's exposed weakness to be hit by your Courageous Strikers or your Unflinching Strikers if you don't have Courageous Strikers yet. You just don't want your exposed weakness to be stolen by a healer or a debuffer. You want it to be on your attacking mons or that hit it. And then also you can use her for DP10. Mind you, I have not tried that out either, but it is possible. It could work there, you know. Exposed weakness is always nice for just getting that extra 2 times damage or whatever. I haven't used her, but I have used the exposed weakness on from my Dark Lucy, who has it on her 5-star. I have used that in the DB10, so it worked well there. So Dark Bulbie might be able to help out as well, and it'd also be more consistent, and it'd be more useful against the Light Persephone in the first wave. Maybe you can do like defense down, expose weakness, and then maybe you'd be able to take it out in a turn. I don't know. I haven't tried it, but it's interesting. It's probably possible. And then you can also use it for PvP, but mind you, if you're using it for PvP, it's most likely just going to be as a dark attacker. There's not really... well, you're going to be facing a lot of mons with high resist. So it's unlikely that she'll land her exposed weakness, but if she does, obviously that's really good. But you're mostly going to be using her for her damage rather than the exposed weakness if you use it for PvP. And how I would gem, if using for Titans and Colossus, I would build her maybe more defensive, even though she's an attacker, just so she can survive and like consistently land at exposed weakness. I use mine for like Colossus only. I don't use mine for Titan, but I'm working on light dark team, so I'll probably get her in there soon, and for that I'm going to probably have her as HP defense. But if you're going to use her for other places like DB10, PvP, even for like Colossus, you can build her offensive as well. Just know she's not going to be doing like a lot of damage, but she'll be doing some. And I would build her crit rate attack, or crit rate attack HP, or something like that. Just make sure you have crit rate there so that you can get the benefit of dark typing base 100 crit damage. And if I were to prioritize the Bulbies, since we're wrapping it up here, I'd go dark first, then water, then fire. So dark, water, fire, light, then wood. Wood will be last because it can only be used for one spot, and even there she doesn't excel. Light is second last because she can also only be used for one spot. She does well there, but she can only be used in that one specific place. Whereas fire can be decent for early game PvP and has some use, I guess, against the Wood Colossus. Not reliable, but usable. And then water is pretty good. A really good unflinching strike mon. Perfect build for Fire Colossus if you don't have the water nukers. And then dark just is #1 priority because she can be used in so many places. Exposed weakness is a very useful skill, and she has decent stats as well. So yeah, dark is definitely the #1 priority. I definitely recommend getting her first, and then water. And yeah. So yeah, gonna wrap the video up here. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed and all that. Also, you know, I'm always like replying and stuff in comments. Not always replying, but usually replying. So yeah, make sure you leave a comment if you have any feedback or any questions. And yeah, have yourselves a good day, and I'll see you guys all in the next video.